Hello. So you're going to be working on your resume, and the reason why we're doing this is because it's a really good place for you to learn how to manage detailed typography and how to work with um, type hierarchy. So you can see here I have my resume out here, and there's some things that stand out. My name, first of all, because I want somebody to remember it. Um, and then I have my headings on the side that I also have in bold, right? And then um, I have the name of the company that I worked at in bold, and the title is not in bold, but it's all caps. And then the place that I worked and the years are upper and lower case. So the art director stands out just a little bit more than the place. And the reason why I have the places standing out more is because they're recognizable and they're good places that I worked. You may have worked for a small company that may be really great, but nobody would really know who they are. So highlighting that isn't as important as maybe highlighting what your title was. If you had a lot of responsibility and your title indicated that, then you might want your title to stand out more. So those are things that you have to decide for yourself. So I have an overview. I didn't used to have one. Some people call them objectives. Um, I sometimes there's a problem with an objective because it's so specific, and um, you want to be broad because you don't know what opportunities there, and you don't want your objective to um, exclude you from something. An overview isn't necessarily um, as important when you're just starting out as when you've been working for several years, because I've got several different jobs. So for people to have to read all the things that I've done, I can just say, this is the big thing that I've done. But starting out, you probably don't want an overview. It depends, though, on what you've done. So getting back to type hierarchy. So I have used here what are called paragraph styles and character styles. So I have them in my window over here. And generally, when you go and you want to add something to your window, you get it from over here. In this case, that's not where you're going to find this, because you see I have type open and it's got character and paragraphs, but it's not character styles and paragraph styles. This is very confusing because I've shown you all this semester that a window is where you get all those boxes. But in this case, you are going to go under type, and you see here character styles and paragraph styles. I should have mentioned before we started, if you want to stop this, you probably want to have a notebook close to you so you can jot down these different things and hit pause while you're writing these things down. So, so you want to open up paragraph styles and character styles. So here they are. And how they work is a paragraph style is for running paragraph text. So this is all paragraph text, and here it's called body text. I have also here sidebar headings. So you see that that highlights. And then I have, so a paragraph text is, if I delete this and hit a return, what a paragraph text is anything that's in between returns. So if I go and delete all of these returns, it's one whole paragraph. So notice that as I am getting rid of these returns, I have this funny indent here. It's sort of a backwards indent. And that is something that I set up intentionally. Okay, return here and there. So you can see, and this is sort of the return that you would use if you have a bibliography. If you remember doing research reports, you'd have something stand out to the left and then the details after the book title or magazine or periodical or whatever it is indented like this, okay? So the way that I set this indent up is through these paragraph styles. And so what you can do, I'm going to double click this so you can see what this one looks like. So I have it set as the title is body text. And then if I go to basic character formats, it says Adobe Garamond. That's the typeface that I'm using for my body text. The font style is regular, but I can also click here to get italics, semi-bold, these different things. I have my point size is 10 and my leading is 12 points, okay? Now I'm going to jump over to here to indents and spacing. So what I have is that I have a left indent is 0.1875. And then I have the first line is a negative indent. So this is how you want to work with bullet points, okay? And I'm going to do this with you, take you step by step through it, okay? And then I could also do what would be called a space before or a space after. So I'm going to click the preview right here so you can see what happens. So if I click a space after, notice how that paragraph below is getting more further away. And then if I hit space before, it's adding more space here. So if I delete those to 0 and delete it to 0, it's just using the spacing that's set in my characters. So I have 10/12. So that's what's being used there. Okay. So I'm going to take this text and I am going to create a new style. So a new paragraph style. So again, it's in the hamburger. I hit new paragraph style and I am going to call this body text 2. You can give it a shortcut, which is if you have the extended keyboard, which I do, I have the numeric pad over here on the left. If you have the numeric pad on the left, you can use that. If you don't worry about the style shortcuts. You can have another way to access, and I will show you. So if you have the extended keyboard, you could hit Shift and then one of those numbers. So I'm going to hit Shift and 9. Okay. Now I am going to go to my basic character formats and I am going to make this, let's say Gotham, and I'm going to make it 9.5 and I'm going to make my leading 13. Okay. And my case, I could change it to all caps or something else, but I'm going to leave it normal for now. And then I'm going to skip advanced character formats. I'm going to go to indents and spacing, and I am going to make both of these 0, 0, 0, and 0. And I'm going to add, leave some space after, okay? All right, so now I have created this new type style. So this is still set on body text 1, but I'm going to click on body text 2. So I could see, you see the Shift plus number 9. So I could click that on my keyboard. If you don't have that extended keyboard, you just click it right in here in this window. So you see I have this new text style. I also want to point out, if you remember, I had 10 points with Adobe Garamond and I moved it to 9.5 points for Gotham. So Gotham looks a lot bigger than Garamond. So depending on what point size you're going to use, it's going to really depend on the type style that you're using, okay? So I am going to go back and put in these returns. Remember how a little while ago I just deleted all these returns. I'm going to put them in here, and as I do, you see what's happening is that I am getting these extra spaces in here, okay? So that's because anything, what signifies a paragraph is anything in between returns, okay? So I hit a return here. If I delete that return, that becomes part of the same paragraph. I delete this, it becomes part of the same paragraph. I hit a return and it becomes a separate paragraph. Okay, so I want to then style what's going on up here. And I have three different styles here. I have this all caps, I have the company name, and I have the dates. And so each one of these is a different style. And so if I go and click all of these and I hit it to this new style I have here, it notice how, first of all, it didn't change it. And when I click on it, see that little plus sign there? That means that this text has been styled and by hand, so it hasn't been styled with the paragraph styles, and this little plus sign is showing up. So if I hit the Option key on my keyboard, which is the Alt key with the PC, if I click that and then click on here, it should, but it's not, so this isn't helping me. Sometimes this document is old and it doesn't erase it, but what it should do is it should clear all of the styles here. So this is problematic, and then sometimes what I end up doing is just going, so if I go and check, see if I'm clicking on a different type font, it's not working. So this is problematic. What I'm going to do is copy and paste this into my notes. This is really unfortunate this is happening, but it's a good lesson. So I am going to, you can go and type it into something else and then copy it and paste it back in here. It's just when there's a glitch in the program, which happens every once in a while. So I'm waiting for my notes to open. Okay, so I'm going to create a new note, and I'm going to paste that in my notes. Hopefully this will work. So if you have TextEdit, another program you want to put in it, you can try different things. So I'm going to copy here, and hopefully this works. I'm going to stick it down here. I just copied and pasted. Okay, so look what happened. So it got rid of those styles, thank goodness. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to take this line here. So I pasted in the middle of this paragraph, so it now says body paragraph 2. I'm deleting that, and I'm going to put it up here and hit return. Okay, so now I have this text that is saying body text here. But what I want to do is change all of these different styles. I want this to be bold. So if I were to click sidebar headings where it's bold, it is, or say I want to hit italics or the old, it's not giving me, it's changing everything within there because because there are no returns in here, okay? So what you have to do is you have to go to character styles. So a character style lets you put in a style the same way we did for the other. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to say new character style, and I am going to call this company, and I am going to make it, so I was using Gotham. So I'm going to use Gotham bold here, and I can choose to make it all caps too if I want, okay? And I could change the tracking, which is the space between. So say I make that 10, and I say okay. So now if I go and I select this and I hit where it says company, it has changed just that part. Okay, there we go.